As complexity rises, so too does the value of strategic approaches to financial planning and analysis and enterprise planning and performance management processes. In global manufacturers, it can improve profits by tens to hundreds of millions of dollars annually. It entails a holistic and enterprise-wide approach to integrating financial and operational planning and performance management processes and enabling solutions. Why do manufacturers need such approaches? Because they're not realizing the full value of mature planning and performance management processes and solutions like those shown on the screen. Complexity exposes critical capability gaps in traditional financial and operational solutions. The reality is that they're not supporting mature forms of integrated planning and performance management processes, as gaps are falling between the cracks of these siloed solutions. These capability gaps are significant as they undermine the ability to achieve key business objectives like optimizing profits and supporting strategy. Moreover, these gaps prevent manufacturers from achieving key integration objectives, often resulting in expensive and overly complex processes and solutions. The impact of these gaps has been well documented in research studies, like the one shown on the screen. The reality is that they are one of the primary reasons why manufacturers struggle to achieve value from finance and other transformation efforts. The inability to support such transformation does much to explain why manufacturers experience a type of value erosion shown on the screen, especially when it comes to driving profitable growth and sustaining cost reductions. What's common to these sources of value erosion is that they all stem from an inability to effectively plan and manage financial and operational outcomes across functions and legal entities. The problem is that traditional financial and operational solutions are not equipped to address this challenge because neither enables manufacturers to effectively plan and manage processes, activities, and outcomes alongside functions, entities, and accounts. The implication is that neither financial nor operational solutions can support the capabilities that are necessary to optimize value and execute strategy from both planning and performance management perspectives. The absence of these capabilities is one of the primary reasons why rolling forecasts become so ineffective in global manufacturers, and why manufacturers rarely achieve maturity levels featuring dynamic cost, profit, and performance optimization. Longtime users of FP&A and IBP solutions often experience the impact of these missing capabilities firsthand. What they see are processes that are incapable of four things. First, enabling cost structures to self-adjust to market changes, thereby enabling the need for special cost reduction studies. Second, translating strategy and related targets into executable plans featuring projections of free cash flow. Third, delivering forecasts of direct cash flow, working capital, and foreign currency exposure as key outputs of the process. And fourth, executing enterprise scenarios that support both finance and operations, while also enabling finance and operations to share predictive and prescriptive analytics tools. The absence of these capabilities is also one of the primary reasons why manufacturers struggle to make cross-functional trade-off decisions, a capability gap that both McKinsey and Gartner identified as being the root cause of many profitability issues. A classic example of cross-functional trade-off decisions lies in the introduction of new products, customers, and suppliers. The reality is that few can quantify how such decisions affect free cash flow along with other aspects of organization performance. What can result are unintended consequences when decision makers lack visibility into the cross-functional and downstream impacts of decisions. Some refer to this as the cost of complexity, which represents the difference between actual and optimal decisions expressed in terms of their impact on free cash flow. In complex settings, these costs can represent tens to hundreds of millions of dollars, and expressed in another way, They represent the cost of ineffective strategy and profitability management. Historically, manufacturers have used activity-based costing to identify and resolve complexity costs. Since its inception, activity-based costing has been used by hundreds of thousands of companies, if not millions, to achieve cost reductions that are consistent with complexity cost rates shown at the bottom of the screen. In most cases, ABC is being used to fix the impact of wrong decisions after the fact. Many solution providers think that ABC remains an appropriate approach to cost management. In so doing, they are assuming that fixing wrong decisions after the fact results in the same value as presenting wrong decisions in the first place. This assumption is rarely valid in complex manufacturers, nor are the three in blue about the behavior and relevance of overhead costs. Assumptions that are especially inappropriate are those in red, especially in larger manufacturers pursuing digital strategies. Such assumptions are often implied by the structures and math used in both FP&A and IBP solutions. What's even more concerning is that solution providers don't always recognize the implied assumptions upon which their solutions are based. What may not be obvious is that the missing capabilities, which were identified earlier, are not new to those that have used activity-based costing. In fact, the absence of these capabilities is often one of the key observations stemming from ABC projects. The reality is that solution providers have never addressed these gaps. Planning models continue to be accurate for only parts of manufacturers, which is represented by the bar graph on the left. What's missing are more sophisticated planning models, represented by the bar graph on the right, ones that can quantify the majority of resource consumption at a level enabling effective cost and profitability management. A key takeaway from this video is that FP&A solutions are not always the strategic tools that many believe them to be. The reality is that critical capability gaps often prevent them from supporting strategy and optimizing value in global manufacturers. And the same is often true for integrated business planning and S&OP solutions, even when they're used in conjunction with FP&A and other solutions. This reality can leave finance executives without capabilities needed to meet the expectations of CEOs, like those shown on the screen, as well as others identified in this Gartner report. Supply chain executives can face similar challenges, as capability gaps also undermine their ability to achieve the types of objectives shown on the screen. To address these issues, executives need to establish a deeper understanding of the flaws identified in this video, along with the capabilities required to fix them. This screen summarizes the key capabilities identified in this video and is the starting point for a more detailed video. By doing so, manufacturers can potentially increase profits by reducing value erosion and complexity costs, an amount that could range from tens to hundreds of millions of dollars. Realizing this value starts with a strategic FP&A approach that we described at the outset. Thank you for watching this video. For questions or comments about its contents, please feel free to use the contact information shown on the screen.